Hello and welcome to Sketch Together. On this session we're going to learn how to create a parallax effect using Flinto. And it's going to look something like this. So I have Flinto here, I open my prototype and see how the mountains move and come back. And I can also control them with my swipe. And then they can also go up, being controlled by my swipe. Yeah, so let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so the first thing that I did was create my design on Sketch. And I used the basic triangle shapes to just start creating the mountains. And then I added some colors, some gradients, and I created my own graphic style for each layer of mountains. And then I added a gradient on top as a light, just to add a little bit of depth. And then I added a background color, a couple of suns, some clouds that I think I spent too much on these clouds. And that was it. Pretty simple. Okay, so I have finished the design. As you can see, I have created 3 different groups of mountains. One which is near, one which is in the middle, and one which is the most far away. It's a little bit more distant. And then I also added some sun and some elements like clouds and the background. So the first thing that you want to know is how to create the parallax effect. And you do this by creating motion. And when you create motion, you make the closest objects or the closest things move faster, and the objects that are more distant move a little bit slower, and that creates a little bit of depth. And probably you are familiar with this effect. If you are in a car and you look through the window, you're going to see the mountains that are far away move like they seem like they're not moving, and the cars or houses that are closer to you move really fast. And so yeah, let's create that effect right now. And we're going to do this in Flinto, and what we're going to learn is how to connect layers and using swipe gestures. So let's go ahead and just send this to Flinto using the Flinto plugin. And the Flinto plugin will allow you to have send to Flinto. If you don't have the Flinto plugin, just go to Flinto for Mac, search Flinto for Mac, and then you will find the Flinto plugin there. And so I have sent to Flinto, and automatically it detects that I'm using the device size of an iPad Pro. And I'm going to say yes. And send it to Flinto. It opens Flinto for me. And I can see that I still have all the different objects, all the different groups and the same names, so I can start designing. So the first thing that I want to do is I'm going to leave this as a reference, as the starting point, and I'm going to duplicate this artboard. Just going to put it around here, and then here I can start moving the objects. So the first thing that I want to do is the one that is the nearest. See how it's all the way outside the artboard on the right? I'm going to move it now all the way outside the artboard, but on the left. So it moves super fast, high speed, all the way to the left. And then this object, I'm going to actually put it around here, around there, probably around here. And actually I'm going to edit the original one, and I'm going to put this one around here. It starts around there. And then probably this one is going to be in the center, a little bit off to the right, and the farthest away I'm going to put it on the second artboard. I'm going to put it far away sorry, on this one far away, I'm going to put it on the center, so align it horizontally. And probably this artboard should move around there. Yeah, it's okay. You just play around with the objects until you get the size that you want, sorry, the distance that you want. And okay, so it starts there. It starts a little bit funky in a little bit of a weird place. Around there, it should be good. There you go. And let's just start. Now that I have created the elements, I have moved them, I can start connecting layers. So another thing that I want to do is actually make these clouds move a little bit. So the clouds will move just a tiny bit. And actually the clouds, I'm going to move them to the right, since apparently the air is coming from the left. And they're just moving a little bit. And then the sun,
it's going to move a little bit up, and that's it. That's all. We see time, and probably the sun shouldn't even move, but for this test, we're going to keep it moving. And okay, so now I'm going to this layer, to this group, I'm going to add a gesture, and this gesture is going to be a left swipe. And sorry, let's do a tap just for testing. We can change it to left swipe later. So tap, and then this one is going to be the new artboard. The target is going to be the new artboard, and we're going to create a new transition. So once we are in the new transition, we're in the transition designer, and now we want to put the artboard of the end screen in the middle of the guides. These guides represent what is going to be seen inside the screen. So I have it there, and now I can start connecting layers. To connect layers, you select a layer here on the layers list, and then, for example, you can even select the group. You can connect groups, and I'm going to connect these two by command clicking connect layer. Connect these two, so all the layers that have the same name, I'm going to connect them. And almost done. The suns will connect to, and the background will connect to. So let's see how it looks. It's pretty fast, probably too fast. So what I can do is all of these, I can select with Shift and just select all of them. And then here on the timing, instead of spring, I'm going to actually use a classic, ease in, ease out. And instead of 300 milliseconds, which is the default, I'm going to change it to, let's say, 2000 milliseconds, which is 2 seconds. And let's test it out. Okay, it's starting to look good. We can preview it. I'm going to preview it here. I'm going to just tap, and I can see the effect already happening. I'm going to go to home, and probably I can make it a little bit slower. So instead of 2 seconds, I'm going to make it 3 seconds. See, it's a little bit smoother, right? And it's looking good. Now I'm going to save and exit. That's the basic of it. And now instead of being a tap, I'm going to change the gesture to a left swipe. Sorry, I need to remove this one. So I'm going to create it left swipe, and I'm going to preview, and now it responds to my left swipe. The animation is all the position and everything on the X is responding to my gesture. And at the end, once I let it goes really fast, so be careful with that. And I wish it was a little bit slower, but that's how it is. And it's pretty fast actually. But anyway, you can also add one more gesture that is just tap, and it's going to be the same, which is the target is going to be the same, and we're going to reuse the transition that we just created. Actually, I'm going to edit this transition. I'm going to say parallax. That's it. I'm going to change it to parallax, and I can reuse it in a different gesture. And now we can preview it just with a tap and moves, but it also moves with my gesture. That's cool. Okay, and now I want to go back. So what I can do is on this guy over here on the second paragraph, second artboard that I created, I can just add a gesture, and this one is going to be a right swipe, and I'm going to put the original artboard as a target, and I'm going to use the same transition, but in reverse. And let's see how it looks. There you go. And I can add another gesture, which is tap. And this tap is going to take me back. Also, just to create a loop. And the transition is going to be parallax, done. Now let's preview it. And over here, I press tap and it goes back. And that's all cool. Now I want to create another transition, but the parallax is going to be coming from below. So it's like if you were scrolling from below and then the objects disappear in the horizon. So I'm going to rename this one to parallax 2. And I'm going to duplicate this artboard. This artboard over here, I'm going to rename it to parallax 3, just so I know what's going on. And on this one, the first thing that I want to do is remove these gestures. And now I want to move these guys up. So the same principle, the closer the elements, and I'm going to actually remove this one because it's not there. The closer the elements, the slower they move. Sorry, the faster they move. So this guy moves a little bit slower, around there. And then the sun and the clouds, I'm going to just leave them there. Actually, the clouds, I'm going to even move them down. And also, I'm going to add another layer. It's a rectangle here. And this layer is going to be on top of it. So and this is going to be a dark layer, a dark blue. And you're going to see what's going to happen here. I'm going to put a little bit larger. And then I'm going to copy it, and then on the parallax 2, I'm going to paste it and move it all the way to the bottom. This one is going to be top and top over here. And now I'm going to create a gesture here. And this gesture is going to be swipe up swipe. And the target is going to be the new artwork that I created. And I'm going to create a new transition. And in this transition, as always, I'm going to put the end screen in the middle of my transition designer. And I will also start connecting the layers. So the top is connected, the middle is connected, far is connected, and so on. And near is not there, so it doesn't connect because it doesn't appear on the last one. So you can just leave it alone. And the rest, you just need to connect all of the rest. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. There you go. So let's see what's going on. And as you can see, it's happening. So let's test it out on the preview. So I move it over here, and then I move up, and things disappear. So I move it to the left, move it to the right, move it to the left, and then I move up, and then it disappears. And that's it. That's pretty much it. You can probably fine tune all the elements. I'm going to actually create also, I'm going to go back to Sketch, and I'm going to create a new layer that is, this one is going to take me back. I'm going to make it blue. Probably this blue. I'm going to say go back. And this is just going to be a nice button that takes me back. So I'm going to put this as white. I'm going to group this button. And this is not necessary, but I want to do it. So over here on this, just copy pasting. And then I'm going to move it button. And then over here, and the original, I'm going to put it here too, but I'm going to, it's going to be, sorry, it's going to be this one, copy, paste. I'm going to put it around here. And the opacity, I'm going to change it to 0%. And now I'm going to go back to the transition, the up swipe, edit transition, and then I'm going to connect those two layers, the button. I'm going to connect them, and now let's see how it looks. There you go. So let's preview it. I swipe up, and then the go back appears. And then obviously save and exit. The go back, I'm going to put it at a gesture tab, and this one I will just use the target of the original artboard, and the transition is going to be a fade in, just the template fading that Flinta provides. Now let's preview it. Swipe up, then click it, and it fades in and creates a loop for me. There you go. So that's it. Now you can do this on your own. Let's preview it in full screen. Oh yeah. Let's tap, and then let's go up. There you go. Okay, cool. So hopefully you, just a recap, you understood how to connect layers and how to use different gestures on the same element, like tap or left swipe. You can use, and also how to reuse transitions. And yeah, cool. If you create a parallax effect like this, I would love to see it. Just leave it in the comments, or I don't know, create a video, and that will be awesome to see. Thank you.